Victor says, what other properties would you recommend for link building aside from the Gsite ID page and syndication rings? In the past, I sent some link packages to certain sites, but those profiles seem to fall off search results. Yeah, well, as I just mentioned, the Google Business website, the Gsite ID page, syndication network properties, all the profiles, as well as you can also build links to any syndicated content to your syndication network properties. In other words, you can go to Blogger, Tumblr, WordPress, for example, and extract the post URLs that, specific post URLs. So for example, let's say that you publish, let's say 5 supporting articles for a particular silo to your money site blog, which is going to syndicate out to your syndication network profiles. Well, instead of just always building links to the profile, the home, the profile URLs, which is essentially the home page, right? Which usually it's a blog roll. So it makes sense to do that because it's going to power up whatever blog posts are in the blog roll, right? That are present on the home page before they roll off the home page, right? So it makes sense to constantly build links to your home, the profile URLs, the home pages of those blogs. But it also makes sense very strategically that, again, like let's say you publish 5 supporting articles for a particular silo on your money site. Well, then you can go to Tumblr, WordPress, and Blogger and extract the post URLs for those 5 posts. So you get 3 Web 2 post URLs for each money site post, right? And now you can actually take, and again, if it's 5 times 3, now you've got 15 target URLs that you can hit with a very specific set of links and keyword anchors, right? Very specific set of anchor texts that are super relevant or hyper relevant to that particular silo. So that's another great set of targets. Again, I said the Google Business website, the Gsite, the Press Advantage organization page, the ID page, syndication network properties, individual posts on the syndication network, because remember, you can always grab the groups of posts. Then there's also Google Business Post, as I just talked about in the previous question. Also, press releases. If you have a Press Advantage organization page, you should probably be publishing press releases as well. So press releases themselves can become targets. I recommend that you would stick to the way that I usually only build links to the the press releases published on the Press Advantage domain. Does that make sense? So the original source URL. Another good target is Digital Journal. But those are usually the only 2 that I will build links to. And most of the time, I don't even build links to Digital Journal. I just build links to Press Advantage. So I constantly am powering that up. But anyways, those are all really, really good link targets, guys. Something else that I talk about which again, you guys can get access, click this link up here if you don't already have it, but the Google Business Profile Process, where it's still titled the GMB process checklist. In the link building module, I talk about, building links to your tier 1 entity assets too, but besides just building links to them, guys, it's something I just posted a video about this in the mastermind today. If you take the time and treat your tier 1 entity assets and publish separate and unique posts on those profiles. So for example, go to Blogger, your branded blogger, and publish a unique entity tuned or SEO tuned content post, not something that's syndicated. I'm talking about purchasing or developing, creating your own content that has been tuned using some, whatever SEO tuning tools you're using, Page Optimizer Pro, Surfer SEO, Outranking.io, Phrase.io, onpage.ai, or, any one of those tools will work. But going out and publishing really well-developed content that are unique on each one of your branded profiles. So go to Blogger, publish a unique post that's been well-tuned. And I'm talking about something that can rank on its own, guys. It might be a 1,500 to 2,000 word blog post. It's worth it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. And again, I just posted about this in the mastermind today. I did this with a Blogger blog post for the Lynchburg Tree Service project, which is a lead gen project that I set up in part to do training on for the content mirroring method. But, in the Google Business process checklist, I talk about the tier 1 entity tune content and doing what I just mentioned. And so I did that 2 weeks ago with Blogger. I had an article developed specifically about tree pruning and tree trimming and tree pruning. And I had it's about, I don't know, I think about 12 or 1,300 words. And I published it on Blogger. It's not a syndicated post. And then I did exactly what I lay out in the process checklist, guys. I linked to my money site, my CID map, CID URL. I embedded the GMB map. I embedded, or then I linked, excuse me, to the Google Business website, and also an anchor text link to the CID map URL. Okay. And then I also, I did a couple of other things. And anyway, long story short, I published that about 2 weeks ago. I ordered a GSA spam gig, a straight up spam gig, to hit that, the blogger homepage profile URL and the inner page URL for the post. And it was, I actually published it as an inner page, which I shouldn't have done. I should have published it as a post, but I published it as a tree trimming page on the blogger site. And so those are my 2 target URLs for a 400,000 GSA spam gig. And I hit it, and I just had the links delivered today, and only a fraction of them have been crawled. But that article, publishing that article on my branded blogger profile, it pushed Lynchburg Tree Service into the #1 position in the MAPS 3-pack for Lynchburg tree pruning service, tree pruning Lynchburg, VA. And here I can actually demonstrate that. I don't mind showing that. In fact, see, I still have this open because I was showing this in the video earlier. Take a look at this, guys. Lynchburg tree pruning service, and it pushed. This is a brand new location. Guys, this location was created at the beginning of October. It's the same location. Now, again, some of this could also be benefiting from the content mirroring method that you guys should have access to if you picked it up between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. But this was a very specific keyword that I targeted with the blogger post. And again, this is a brand new location. And to be #1 in maps for that is insane, right? At least in my opinion, that's insane, guys. So just an example, if I say like tree pruning Lynchburg. Okay, so that one, but if I add service, and again, I'm not worried, like I said, the links haven't even all been crawled yet, guys, but look at that. I mean, it's insane, right? So all of that to tell you guys, like, you know, what should you be building links to? Well, it's not just about building links to the assets that you've generated. If you take the time to develop well-tuned content, and we're going to have a service available. It's already in progress in the mastermind. Again, we've got alpha testers in it now. It's called Content Kings. We're going to have the available to you guys where you can purchase tuned content, the exact same kind of content that I use for my own business. It's my team that is doing, producing it. But if you take the time to put well-tuned content on your tier 1 assets, then they become absolute powerhouses. Those become your best link building targets as well. Like that and the Google Business website, in my opinion, are your 2 best targets because they're super relevant. You can manipulate your anchor text ratios, and then you can just power up those tier 1 posts, well-tuned posts, and you just get massive results, guys. Again, results like this don't lie. This is a brand new location, #1 in maps. Yes, that's not a super competitive keyword, but the links haven't even been crawled yet. In fact, here they are. Take a look at this. There it is. There's the blogs. This is the actual page URL. You can see only 13 links, 13 referring domains, and they're straight up spam. Look at it. It's just insane. And if I go pull this over to the subdomain, which is the homepage URL, lynchburgtree.blogspot.com. Go look at it yourself, guys. There's nothing special about what I did other than I published a well-tuned piece of content. Excuse me. Look at the straight up spam. 32 referring domains for the root page, the profile URL, and then for the inner page, which I should have done a blog post, but I did it as an inner page. There's only 13 referring domains. Does that make sense? And you guys see the results here. They're indisputable, right? Right there. And that's insane. What I expect is over the next 2 to 3 weeks, as many more of these links get crawled, GSA spam links that I sent to the blogger post, it's likely that blogger post will rank too. I didn't go back to see where it's ranking because I don't even know if it is. I didn't even look. I just was amazed that it helped to push for that specific keyword into the maps pack. It's just insane. And again, like I said, we'll just go view this real quick, guys. There's nothing special about this. It's not even that this is not even that long of an article. It just was tuned. I used Surfer SEO on this one. And it, as I said, it's really super powerful stuff, guys. And that's the kind of stuff that we teach in the mastermind. And I would encourage you guys, these hacks are just insane. I shared another one a few weeks ago about patch.com using the classified announcement post. I'm not going to get into that here, but that's another method that, you could just smash a patch.com classified announcement post, which indexes in Google News, by the way. And you can just hammer that with kitchen sink spam. And as long as you tune the content properly, that shit will rank in about 30 days, even for competitive areas. And I go through the exact process in the mastermind on that too. And it's insane because it's just another spot in the SERPs that you can take up with a branded, post on patch.com. So I encourage you guys to check this stuff out. It really works.